Hi, this is Katie. I just kind of want to make another little mental health video. I know that I just posted one, but I want to make another one. I hope you guys don't mind. I just kind of want to share the idea and kind of like spread awareness a little bit and encourage other people with some words, especially people who don't have mental illnesses or mental health issues or don't really know anyone with them. Just because someone seems happy does not mean that they're not dying inside. Just because someone's smiling doesn't mean that they feel okay. Just because someone's beautiful or handsome or intelligent or wealthy or famous doesn't mean that their brain is not attacking them every second of every day. And I remember one comment that I got like a year or two ago of someone saying, "You're too pretty to have anxiety." And I'm sure, you know, he was thinking he was being nice or trying to flirt or didn't necessarily mean it in a mean way. But in reality, I think that that's a common thought, kind of. Like, oh, well, you're attractive, or oh, well, you're wealthy, or oh, well, you're a famous actor, or well, you have a beautiful family, or you have a job you love, or just any of these things. And so people think that that means that they cannot have mental health issues. When in reality, a lot of mental health issues you're born with, or they come from trauma, or you're born with the predisposition, but it comes out later. Like certain illnesses, you might be born with it, but then it doesn't actually come out until you're 19, 20 or something. And so how you look or your success in life, success means different things to different people. Like it doesn't mean that something that you're born with is gonna go away. Mental illnesses are actually illnesses. My last therapist actually said that they are disabilities. Sometimes, depending obviously on who you are and what you think is best for you, sometimes focusing on curing them might make you wait out on your life, might make you put a pause on your life instead of thinking, how can I live now? How can I live my best life now, even though I'm suffering? If you're thinking, I'll do that when I'm healthy, it's almost like saying, I'll do that when I retire. You might never get there. We don't know what the future holds. We literally have no idea. Right this second, a car could drive into mine and I could be dead. And so anything that I could have said, oh, I'll do that when I get healthy and when all my mental illnesses just completely vanish, I wouldn't have done them, because your life's not guaranteed. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. 2 seconds from now is not guaranteed. And so thinking that you need to wait to do something until you're better, like fully better, it might mean that you're never actually going to end up doing it, because you might not get better. Some illnesses are not curable. And so I want to encourage people to do whatever they can now to learn how to cope and how to deal with stuff just in whatever way is personal to you, because we're all so different, but just in a way that you still are like, you know what, I have a goal and I kind of said that I'm going to do it when I get healthy, but actually I want to see how I can do it now and see how I can cope with my differences, my characteristics that I don't like about myself, see how you can work with them. So I want to encourage you to do what you can to thrive in your situation now, even if you don't like your situation, because it might not change in the way that you want it to. And it's hard. It's so hard. But I want to encourage you guys to do that kind of stuff. A lot of people are like, oh, I wish I could travel like you do, but I have my anxiety, or but I have this, but I have this. And I know how hard some things can be when you have those symptoms. But I also want to encourage you to see if there's anything that you can do that could still help you reach your goal while you're suffering with these symptoms. And then to kind of go back to what I was saying earlier, how often and severely people get judged boggles my mind. It boggles my mind. It's so easy to just be like you just, you know, there's some woman or girl, I couldn't see how old she was, walking down. I'm in a Walmart parking lot and she was just walking. She could be super happy. She could feel so fulfilled. She could have just reached all the goals that she wants. She could be mentally healthy or on medication that's really helping her. She could have a supportive family. She could have a good group of friends, and those are the things that actually fulfill her and make her feel good. And she can wake up almost every morning feeling good. She could also be absolutely miserable. Someone in her family could have passed away. She could have illnesses, any invisible illness, physical or mental, that people cannot see and that people don't notice. She could have had situational things. She could have just gotten fired. Her kids could be sick. We do not know what other people are going through. Hey guys, Editing Katie here. I feel like I could talk about this topic forever, and I feel like you guys know that, but I just wanted to add one more thing that I think was missing from this video. The reason that it's so harmful to look at someone and just assume how they're feeling, or look at someone, see them smiling and just assume that they're happy, is because you are going to treat them accordingly. And so if you just see someone who's smiling all the time, they could be faking it. They could be trying so hard to smile so that they're not hurting other people or spreading negativity. But if you just see them like that all the time, you're going to just treat them like they're happy. But also, if they ever do reach out and need you, it might be a little bit harder for you to actually believe that they're hurting. Some people have a cover, and I'm just hoping that you guys will have the same compassion and same grace and patience with people, and also not compare yourself to these people as well, because you might be comparing yourself to people thinking that they're happy and wanting what they have, but they might not actually be. And I know that I'm comparing this to negative judgment, but I see it that way because I want there to be more compassion towards people who have invisible illnesses like mental illnesses. And honestly, just more compassion towards everyone, because that's kind of what I'm saying, is you never know what someone is going through. So I hope that makes sense. I'm not even really sure it does, but I hope it does. All right, back to the video. Even if you know someone, like even if they're in your family or if they're your friend, you still probably don't know a lot that they're going through. You don't know how things affect them fully because you're not them. And they might tell you. And hopefully if you want to be a good friend or good coworker or good family member, you'll listen. Even if it doesn't make sense to you. Certain things trigger people. And to you, it might be like, oh, that doesn't make sense to me because that doesn't trigger me. But that does not mean that it doesn't trigger them. We're so different. And it just bums me out that people judge people. Obviously, people judge people based on their own understanding, their own background knowledge, their own worldly knowledge. People judge other people based on that. People make assumptions. And obviously, certain assumptions are, kind of necessary in terms of safety, or if you're trying to make a new friend, and you want to kind of get to know them. Obviously, that stuff all makes sense. But I'm specifically talking about judging in a negative way. I'm real vulnerable and open, you guys know that. But I still feel like I can tell people everything about me. But first of all, I'm never going to tell everyone everything. There's always going to be things that, even if you're not really consciously doing it, there are always going to be things that you're hiding or that you're just kind of keeping low. But also, I feel like I could tell people so many things about me and they still have no idea what I'm talking about because they don't experience the same things I do. They don't have the same traumas. They don't have the same upbringing. They don't have the same mental health issues. They don't have the same decision-making skills or thought processes. They don't have the same things. We are not the same people. And so there are definitely going to be some people that you meet and you feel like you can understand them on that level. And that's incredible. For me, it's kind of rare. It's actually like really rare for me to find people that I can talk to about mental health stuff who actually understand. Again, we have different background knowledges. And so it's so easy to just see someone and assume because, oh, if I was that pretty, I would be happy. If I had that much money, I would be totally fulfilled. I would have no cares in the world. It's so easy to think that way when it's definitely almost always wrong. Obviously, sometimes money can help certain things 100%, but money making you happy, that's not necessarily true. Sometimes, if you're paying off your debt, if you can afford food for your family, obviously that can help with feeling fulfilled and feeling like you're doing something and feeling like like you have enough and that you can provide. Absolutely, I get that. But wealthy people commit suicide. So it's not the end all be all for everyone. And so judging based on your own background knowledge of just your life, but then even your knowledge of the other person, because sometimes it's a little bit, walking down the street, beautiful person, must be happy. Someone posting on Instagram a picture of them and their family and they're all smiling on the beach. They must be happy and never fight and have a perfect life. It's not true. It's just not true. I mean, that person might be happy, sure, but it's not a 100% all the time judgment that makes sense all the time. And so I wanted to make this video to just kind of hopefully bring attention to that and bring awareness to that. That just because you see someone who looks happy does not mean that they are. Just because you see a ton of gorgeous photos on Instagram, or people walking down the street, or people carrying expensive bags or whatever, doesn't mean that their life is not crumbling. It does not mean that their brain is not attacking them, because so many mental illnesses are not situational. And so thinking that being attractive, wealthy, having a good job, having a big house, having a good family will fix something that you were born with, or that negates something that you were born with, it just doesn't make sense. And it's just not true. Certain things can help, absolutely. Therapy helps some people. Medication helps some people. Doing certain things, certain tasks, keeping busy, being around your family can help. But it's what I was saying before, it might not fix you. You might not get 100% better. And so to mix these two ideas together, I don't even know why these were the two ideas, but they just are. I hope that if you are suffering right now, that you still find it in you to still have some goals and work on them, and not just wait until you're fully better, because that day might not come. So things are gonna be real hard, for sure. For sure. Anything that's worth it is hard. I fully believe that, sick or not, disabled or not, healthy or not. Most things that are really worth it are difficult. And so if you wanna go travel but you have anxiety about driving, see what you can do for yourself that helps. Ease into it. Ask a friend if they'll drive with you, or ask a friend if they'll help you drive a little bit more, even if you just start driving a few minutes a day. Start small, because if you start too big, it will overwhelm you and you're gonna feel like you can't really do it, probably. Start small. You can ease into it. It's so hard, but any steps that you take, I'm so proud of you, because life is really hard. And I feel like especially when you have illnesses that people can't see, and then they judge you for them, or they make fun of you for them, or they put you down, or they try to tell you what to do because they think they know better, it adds an extra difficulty. There are obviously other things that add extra difficulties too, but this is the particular one I'm talking about right now. And then also in terms of judging, some people innately just want to bring other people down, or at least put them in their own bubble so that they can judge them based on themselves, so that they can feel better about themselves. It's really sad. It's so sad, because you can feel good about yourself without knocking someone else down. I think I may have mentioned this in a video before, that Gary V, who I love. If you don't follow him on Instagram, you really should. Gary V, Gary Vaynerchuk. He's like a business motivational guy, and he's incredible, and he's very logical, and he's incredible. One of his quotes is something like, "I want to build the tallest building in the city. I want to do that by building the tallest building, not by knocking all the other buildings down." You can still reach your goals and do great things in your life without bashing other people, without putting them down, without hurting them, without judging them, without thinking that they're lying, without thinking that they're just exaggerating for sympathy. You can still just be a pleasant person. But again, there's just something in a lot of people that they want to like bring other people down so that they feel better, and so that they can compare. Comparing to other people is rarely healthy. Comparing to your past self might help you a little bit more. And so I could talk about this stuff for hours, you guys know that, but I really just want to encourage you to just never assume that someone is happy. And especially if you care about someone, and if they say that they're not okay, trust them, believe them. I always kind of hated when people said like, oh, that person just, you know, overdosed for attention, or they attempted suicide for attention. Okay, if someone's gonna go to that drastic of a measure for attention, then they obviously need some sort of outside help, obviously. But some people just blow it off. A lot of people need help. A lot of people need grace and compassion, but a lot of people also need help. Almost every single person is not what they seem if you just look at them. Even take me. If you have ever seen me in person and you didn't know I lived in a car, you probably wouldn't guess it. You just probably wouldn't guess it. You probably wouldn't guess that I'm on a very long road trip by myself. You probably wouldn't guess that I've gone to all the lower 48 states in my car. You probably would not guess that I sleep in the backseat of this car in truck stops. You just probably wouldn't guess, because I just kind of just look like a person. You probably also wouldn't guess that my brain attacks me 24/7. You probably wouldn't guess that I've been on psychiatric meds that I've been allergic to. You probably wouldn't guess that I've been in and out of therapy for 15 years, because I just look like a person. I want to encourage you guys to not compare yourself. Also, because you might see someone and be like, oh my gosh, they're so happy and I'm so miserable. Why? They might not be. So that's not going to be helpful for you. And so it's okay, again, to make certain judgments, but I'm talking about the negative ones, the ones that are putting someone down. Could even be yourself, putting yourself down. Because you might look at that person and be like, they look so happy, why can't I have that, you know? When in reality, why can't we just be, you know, neutral positive of, oh, I like that person's hair, or oh, that person's laughing, that's awesome. It's awesome. Because a lot of people are suffering, but judging other people or taking it out on other people or wanting to push other people down is not going to fix you. It's so hard because we're just almost innately like made to just judge and compare. But doing it in terms of mental health, in terms of that person looks happy, they might not be. Or that person says they're depressed, but look, they're wearing diamond earrings and they have Gucci shoes on. How can they be depressed if they can afford Gucci shoes? Because money or fame or beauty or family or stability or a house or recognition or humor, they do not negate illness. They might help, 100%. They might help, but they don't negate it. They don't just magically take it away. That person has Gucci shoes, they can't be depressed. It's not a real thing. It's just not. Especially now with social media, with reality shows, with all that stuff, you can just think, oh, they're rich and famous. I wish I could be like that. It would solve all my problems. It would solve some, sure, definitely. You could pay off all your bills and stuff and, you know, buy your parents a house or something. You know, like it could definitely do some stuff, but it's not going to cure something you were born with. It's not going to magically take away traumatic experiences or memories. It's not going to magically fix. Some things can, some long-term plans, if you have things, again, that you're born with or something, some medication, some therapy, absolutely can make you feel 95% better, that you don't even feel like you're sick anymore, but that's not guaranteed. And so I want to encourage people not to judge. I want to encourage people not to compare. I want to encourage people to just understand the fact that even if someone looks happy, it does not mean that they are. Just because someone's laughing or smiling or having a good 10 minutes or making jokes with their friends does not mean that they did not wake up this morning crying because they didn't want to wake up. We do not know what people are going through. I've repeated it 1,000 times. You guys know when I repeat myself, it's because I really want to like drive a point home and because it's really important. And because sometimes I don't know if I'm explaining it right. So sometimes I like to explain it a couple times to hopefully make sense. But I just really wanted to talk about this right now because there's so much negativity in the world. We don't need to add to it unnecessarily. We really don't. So many people everyone is going through something that we do not know about. Whether we're strangers, complete strangers, whether we're acquaintances, whether we're close with them, people go through things that we do not know about that are so hard for them. And it might even seem easy. Someone might say like, oh yeah, my boyfriend and I broke up, we were dating for 3 months. And someone else might be like, my husband just left me, we were married for 3 years. And just throw away the other person's problem, acting like it's not a problem because yours is worse. It does not mean that the other person's not hurting. It does not mean that the other person's not suffering. It does not mean that what the other person went through is not real. Some people want to put down what you're going through just so they feel better about themselves, so they feel stronger. You're not stronger. That's not going to make you stronger. I hope that we can like have a little bit more compassion because again, this world is so hard already. Having other people bash you, other people make fun of you, other people think you're lying, other people hoping that you fail just so they look better. It's not helpful, you guys. It's just not. And I want to live in a world where we always want to be helpful. Obviously, it's not going to be 100% of the time. Everyone fails. But failing is good because it means that you actually did something. And so the whole point is get up. Do it again. Do it again differently, maybe, if the first time didn't stick. And I just hope that we pray for people, that we are nice to people. Because someone could be having a horrible day and just you holding the door open for them could make them feel a little bit better. We don't know. So why not, you know, do little things to help if we can. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this made sense. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and I'll talk to you in the next one. I love you, Jesus loves you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.